of the most difficult countries to deal with has been Canada. As much as I love Canada itself and the people of Canada, they've just had a lot of bad representatives. They did a fake ad yesterday. They were caught. The Ronald Reagan Foundation was the one that caught them. And it was totally the opposite of what they said. So I don't like that. That's dirty pool, and you can't do that.
One Donald Trump crashing out yet again, announcing over the weekend he was canceling all trade negotiations and raising tariffs with Canada over an ad. The decision was made late Thursday night after Trump got word of this 1-minute TV ad sponsored by the Ontario government. Watch.
Says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports. It looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. But over the long run, such trade barriers hurt every American worker and consumer. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. Throughout the world, there's a growing realization that the way to prosperity for all nations is rejecting protectionist legislation and promoting fair and free competition. America's jobs and growth are at stake.
So there's the ad. Look, Cenk, some ads resonate with people, some are forgettable. Before we get into more of the details, what are your thoughts on this one?
I mean, I get it. Ontario, Canada is striking back, and it's going to be popular with Canadians who are furious at America for doing the tariffs. That is a real speech by Ronald Reagan. And what they didn't anticipate is that Donald Trump is so thin-skinned, honestly so weak, that anything that he perceives to be an insult of him, he will then commandeer American foreign policy and economic policy to try to soothe his feelings. So let's give you the rest of the story. Let's talk about whether that, Reagan really said those things. And is Trump really doing this just because of his feelings? Collective punishment of a whole nation, our top ally, because his feelings were hurt? Well, as you'll see, yes.
Yes. Trump not happy at all. In fact, he was furious. He posted this to Truth Social: Canada cheated and got caught. They fraudulently took a big buy ad saying that Ronald Reagan did not like tariffs when actually he loved tariffs for our country and its national security. Canada's trying to illegally influence the United States Supreme Court and one of the most important rulings in the history of our country. Canada has long cheated on tariffs, charging our farmers as much as 400%. Now they and other countries can't take advantage of the US any longer. Thank you to Ronald Reagan Foundation for exposing this fraud. Make America great again. He then doubled down Saturday. He added this: Canada was caught red-handed. They did not seek nor receive permission to use and edit the remarks. Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute is reviewing its legal options in this matter. And the sole purpose of this fraud was Canada's hope that the United States Supreme Court will come to their rescue on tariffs that they have used for years to hurt the United States. Now the United States is able to defend itself against high and overbearing Canadian tariffs and those from the rest of the world as well. Ronald Reagan loved tariffs for purposes of national security and the economy, but Canada said he didn't. What Trump's referring to here is the Supreme Court upcoming hearing to review challenges to Trump's tariffs on November 5th, including some he's placed on Canadian exports. Trump ended with this: because of their serious misrepresentation of the facts and hostile act, I am increasing the tariff on Canada by 10% over and above what they are paying now. It's unclear exactly what the 10% would apply to, what specific goods, but let's break down exactly what Trump is so mad about. The audio in the ad fraudulent. Trump trying to convince the Supreme Court to feel sorry for them? The answer is no, it's not fraudulent. The audio in the ad is authentic, and it came from a 5-minute speech Reagan did in April 1987 about free and fair trade when he announced his decision to impose tariffs on Japan. Edits were made to the audio, however, and his words were spliced together and reordered, but still the edits did not alter the substance of Reagan's words.
Yeah.
So there's that.
So Reagan did some tariffs, and he also was massively for open trade. And in that speech, which is real, he was trying to make sure that we did not pass more restrictive trade bills against Japan. So the essence of what he's saying is definitely correct, meaning that that is actually Reagan's words, and he meant it. So what? So Reagan was against most tariffs. Trump is in favor of a lot of tariffs. What's the big deal? I don't know what the big deal is. So, okay, so Biden was this and Obama was that and Clinton was, so what? I don't care what they thought. And that hurt your feelings so much that you decided that you were gonna do collective punishment, that you were gonna do 10% extra tariff. By the way, not just on Canadians, but us Americans, we have to pay the tariff. So it hurts their businesses, but it hurts our pocketbook. We gotta pay 10% more for everything coming out of Canada because Donald Trump's fifis were hurt by a rando ad from about Ronald Reagan from like 1 million years ago. That's your reason for tariffs? Not because it would be economically advantageous, because if it was, you would have already done the extra 10%. You're saying, no, this is for an extra 10% because my feelings were hurt. This is how a rational person is gonna make a decision. Remember, the president is supposed to be your representative. He's supposed to represent us Americans. We voted for him. We're saying, go get him, big guy, you represent us. And what he's saying is, oh yeah, you're all gonna have to pay more because my feelings were hurt. All right, brother, all right. Can you get a therapist or something? Like, because every time your feelings are slightly hurt, Trump thin skin is like, oh my God, fraudulent ad about Reagan. Oh, for Christ's sake, man. Okay, so, and then he says, Canada's trying to illegally influence us here in America. Israel is not illegally influencing us, but it's big bad Canada that's got us under their control, under their thumb. Canada PAC is the one giving the 90% of Congress and having them vote for $300 billion in subsidies to Canada? No. Canada PAC gave you $337 million? Oh no, it was the Israeli lobby that gave you $337 million. And that's just from the Adelsons, let alone the rest of the Israeli lobby. Okay, but yeah, Canada is the evil giant conspiring to trick us with Ronald Reagan ads. If you believe that, there's not much I can do to help you.
Just real quick before we break, you revere the Gipper like so many conservatives do. Why would the Reagan Foundation play along with this? Why would they sully the great Gipper's tariff reputation?
Well, because they want to kiss Trump's ass, because they're in Washington, and almost everybody in Washington is an ass kisser. The only question is, which ass are they going to kiss? So they, the Reagan Foundation would be like, oh, Reagan, who cares? He's dead already. Oh, Trump, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, Reagan would have agreed with you. Even though that speech is totally accurate. He would have agreed with you. Oh, he would have loved the tariffs, especially on hurt feelings. Oh, Reagan had a whole section, we got a section in the library about hurt feelings and how he punished whole countries and America if you hurt Reagan's feelings. Oh no, even that doesn't exist, huh, interesting. But that'll be like 90% of Donald Trump's presidential library and picture books. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.